Welcome back to Self Revelations. It's your boy B Dab.
And I am Juan Moreno.
Yo, brother, how you been? How's your mental? What you been on these past couple days?
I gotta be honest, man. I'm feeling very beautiful today.
Beautiful.
I'm feeling very confident, feeling very happy. You know, I think just because things are starting to get, back to a place where I remember, like the feeling of before, like situations happen or change of thoughts or challenges. My lady's car accident, that was very, very dramatic. Traumatic to me at a certain point, even though when it happened, like you were there.
Yeah.
So as in like the day it happened, I called you like, hey man, like kind of like letting you know like kind of what happened, because I felt the need to let you know I was with you, when she was at the hospital without me knowing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like after we had done a workout. And then I ended up finding out from her sister, calling me, letting me know that, hey, they're saying that the car is totaled.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? The car is totaled? And I'm over here thinking that, my lady's at work. And the whole time she was in the hospital, because the accident happened at 6 a.m. I didn't find out till 11, almost 12 a.m. after realizing that, holy shit, she's been in the hospital the whole time. And then I'd be able to locate her going through that, calling hospitals around, the city of Antigua, Stockton, Modesto.
Bro.
And then not to find out no trace, and then thankfully they ended up reaching back to the mother and letting her know where she's at. So like going through that, man, getting a lawyer, not knowing if everything's gonna be okay because she's unconscious, the impact of the accident, like all that stuff. Like I was at a very good mental state at that time too. Like I had just got a new job, remember, like I was getting paid more, I was doing these hours, we were going to start the podcast, like all these things were going. Herself, she was also catching momentum for herself. And then I don't know where this accident happens and just shakes it, like shakes the world basically, in our world. So just remembering that, feeling those emotions, because I'm a very, very like purposeful person with my thoughts and like the way I move. I go like all in on my emotions at that time. I try to be as present as possible, try to be happy, and try to be very, very grateful and thankful. So it's kind of good that I think like that too, because even at the time of the accident, everything that happened, I, took care of business in my way, is like making sure that her family knows, her work, it's not like, she gets in an accident, she's in the hospital, she comes home. There's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes too. You have to, she wasn't physically able to, contact her job and let them know what happened, right? So I had to contact them, let them know. They send paperwork. I had to do, EDD, and I have to work with HR to make sure that while she's gone, it's justified and she's still getting paid and she doesn't lose her job depending on how long she's out. So like all these different things while I had to take care of myself. And
That's
then
stressful, bro.
So I didn't realize how stressful it was until after. Like in the moment I was, doing my thing. I thought I was doing okay. I mean, I was doing great at that time. I was just glad she's alive. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do whatever I can. Like I almost thought about studying the 51st Dates with Adam Sandler. I don't know if you've seen that movie. Like, I was thinking the worst too. I was thinking like, whatever happens, I'm gonna just take it day by day. That's what I told myself when I was stressed out, or I would come home and she wouldn't be here, not sleep here. And I just like remember like, man, just yesterday, the day before, like I made sure, for some reason something told me, because I had come home, I was working like swing shifts, so I'll get off like around like 11:30.
Yeah.
And I got home and usually she'll be asleep because she works and wakes up 5 a.m. So I remember getting home and she was still awake, and then I was just like, you know what? Because I was kind of, so into my success, and I was kind of losing my balance of, appreciating the woman that's in my life. And I was so caught up in, learning this, learning that, growth, my personal growth, that I wasn't really showing her I felt affection. So, that day, the day before the accident, I just remember sitting down on the couch. I was like, I'm going to just love her, like hug her, kiss her, like kind of just be with her, be in the presence, And so, like, just imagine that, like seeing, like, you knew this person the day before, and then the accident, and it's like a whole different person, whole different situation. And she's not the same person that you were just with yesterday. So it's like, woof, like going through all that stuff, man. Like, and then being at this moment now where she's okay, everything's, getting smooth, our careers are going well, the environment, we have a whole different perspective, a whole different way of life. Like all that stuff, man. Like that's why I'm just so grateful. Like you have to really be grateful in those moments, like especially when moments are bad, and then when moments become, you know, you get that feeling that you remember again. So it's like,
fact.
Like you just gotta be thankful for like every day.
Yeah, like just seeing her now, like you can't even. I completely forgot about the accident. Like that's how crazy it is. Cause I remember what you were explaining to me like the first like week or two, and you're like, yeah, she doesn't really remember. Like she doesn't really remember. She doesn't really know, and it's just like, damn, bro, like she doesn't know what happened. And I was like, dang, like I couldn't imagine how much that pressure that was. Cause when you told me, my heart dropped. I was like, oh shit, like she had an accident. Cause remember that weekend we were at the bowling alley. We were all drinking, having a good time.
So fun too.
It was fun. Like heck of people came out. We was chilling. You know, we seen all types. We seen Javi, Mingo, everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you know, had a good time that night. And you guys, you know, I was glad you guys pulled up because you guys came from Stockton that day, right? Because you was with your family.
I was with my family.
You were with your family.
Yeah, right.
So when you guys pulled up, man, and first thing I started thinking about was like, damn, like I thought like you were gonna tell me the worst, like something bad happened, and I was like, damn, like the last thing I you know said to her or them is like me messing around or being jokey or like being retarded, like saying some foul shit, roasting somebody. Like damn, right, bro. Right. I was like, man, I need to chill out with that jokey comedy shit. I was for real. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta tighten up. I was like, because I don't know. I was like, damn, I felt bad. Like immediately, I was like, damn. I was like,
right.
Am I a shitty person?
Yeah, I know. It's like, damn.
It's like, damn. The last thing I said to her was roasting her head. Like, come on, bro. But nah, like I'm glad everything's back to normal, and you know, you guys are doing your thing. By the way, this is the first time that we opened up, and you said that you were happy. So that's big. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the other times, you've explained like stuff that was going on. You know, you dealing with your depressions, and this was the very first time out of all the episodes that you said, you were happy. So I'm happy that you happy. You know? Yeah,
especially at that time, man. Like I really felt, not till after is when I started getting like depressed. Like I think I was able to let go now because I was just going on 100%, making sure this taken care of, the lawyers, sending this, the doctor, send this paperwork, all this, whatever, moving, driving around everywhere, going to go get the car insurance, the car is totaled. Like I was just doing like 5-10 different things every day. So the moment I think when I started seeing her get to her own and to herself, and I was able to like sit back, when like the moment I got to sit down is a moment when everything just like all the emotions that I think I suppressed without trying to suppress it. I was just trying to do what I got to do. And so that I think when I stopped and I seen her getting better and I was able to now take to reflect, I think that's when all the emotions started coming in and I started actually feeling everything. Because even at times when I'm like depressed or sad or going through my emotions, the good thing that I know is like it's only for a short amount of time. It's not gonna be forever. It's just temporary. Like I'm going through a sad experience. I'm depressed. I'm in a depressed state, but I know it's the experience of the depressed state. I'm not a depressed person because I'm a very, very happy, energetic. If we're out partying or at a bar or a family or we go out to eat somewhere, like I'm very energetic in my own self. But sometimes, shit, life, comes out of nowhere and you're not prepared and you're like, I just know that those times aren't forever. So I even cherish those times too, like cherish challenges that are very, very traumatic because I know it's not going to last forever and it only makes me stronger, like mentally. I'm all about the mental thing. I'm all about the mental, like pushing myself, keep running even though my body's telling me to stop, going through the pain or working out or talking to people, having those difficult conversations. Like I push myself towards that. Yeah.
And that's that's way better for you too. If you cower out every time that something gets hard, you're not able to grow. You're at a stalemate. But no, I'm happy for y'all, bro. I hope everything works out, with y'all, your car, health wise. Hope everything's good. I haven't talked to you about like her health wise, but
she's doing
she
great.
Looks perfectly fine.
No, she's
in here joking,
like
playing, holding a full conversation, staying on topic. Because remember, at first she wouldn't stay on one topic. You know what I mean? And I kind of noticed that a little bit. And I was like, oh shit! Like
Mm-hmm.
she asked me 3 different questions.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes.
Yeah, I remember I was in the hospital and I was seeing her, and then we were talking about how she's doing, and she was like, I want to leave. Like she'll go a conversation of like, oh, I want to go home. I want to leave. My neck hurts. At school today, they gave us these lunch bags, and I'll be like, what? And I'd just be listening to her, just like let her talk, just like let her. But inside, I'm like, what is she like? This is not reality. Like she's out of like her brain was out of whack. And I was, seeing that, bro, I'd never seen that. So it's kind of like, is this going to be forever? Like, is this going to go away? I had no idea, and then to see it actually, it's a symptoms that you receive from getting a TBI, like a traumatic brain injury that causes like a heavy concussion, possible brain bleed, is exactly what she had. And those are the symptoms. It's like, whoa, man, like you'll be surprised of like the human body of how it reacts. Like when it gets, trauma, like an inflicted wound or a concussion, like the body, the way it heals itself, and how you hit your head hard enough, man, like obviously you can die, but you also alter your emotions, thoughts, your reality, and that's brain injuries ain't no joke.
Yeah, no facts. That's why they take it so serious. Well, now they do. They take it serious in football when you're all these concussions and stuff. And bro, like I see the difference, like with myself, bro. Like, cause I've only had 2 concussions. I want to say I've only had 2, and the recent one was when I was at Lamar. But bro, it's so trippy. Like you'll walk into a room, legit. Like, and this is common. Like you'll walk into a room, be like, okay, I'm going to grab the controller from in the other room. Right? You'll walk in the room, you'll be like, what I come here to grab? Even little stuff like that, or okay, I gotta grab this at the store. You get to the store, you're looking around, you're like, damn, what was I supposed to get? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, oh no.
And I even have that too.
But yeah, like getting on to other topics. Did you watch the All-Star game?
I did watch it on Saturday, but I only watched the weak ass dunk contest, and then I watched a little bit of the 3-point shot. But you could tell, I think people give it a lot of like a bad rap because they see that it's not maybe as entertaining and the players aren't trying.
Yeah.
What do you feel? Like you think it's worth? You think if they were to give an incentive off of how many points you scored, like kind of like they did like the charity each quarter, whoever scored, I don't know how they did it each quarter, either team A or team B wins if you score this many amount of points and it goes to your charity or whatever. Like, you think they need to do more incentives for the players in order to like try harder?
I feel like yes, but no. I mean, but the incentives is it's gonna help them try a little bit harder, but at the same time, you understand they're doing that as an all-star. They don't want to hurt themselves in an all-star game and cost them millions in their regular career. Because in all reality, the all-star game does not matter. It's for the fans. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and like you roll your ankle or something that's gonna affect your playoff hopes or whatever you got going that season. You know what I mean? Say you guys are the number 1 seed. You can't get hurt out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. But my boy Steph Blurry was out there cooking. Bro, drop a 50 bomb. I'm like, oh yeah, he's working. Like that, he got the MVP, but that they need to cut him a check or something. Not that he needed, but they need to cut him a check. Like when people play like that, or even Embiid was playing hella hard, I like how they have it set up, especially with the charities things. But I think like they gotta do something to make them not make it so obvious. They're like walking and like someone's going through the lane, they're not even stepping over, they're just like watching them go up the dunk. Yeah. That's cool and all, but like, bro, like you gotta play some type of defense. They only playing defense really the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like they should maybe move the All-Star game maybe towards like the end of the season. Maybe. But
like sometime when
it's in the middle of the season.
I didn't think about that actually.
Right, it's in the middle.
Would be smart. So people that's not playing, they know, hey, my playoff hopes are done. Well, then the people in the playoffs wouldn't go. If they moved
That's why I said
after.
Like
after the finals?
After the finals, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it would make more sense as in like maybe you'll have the players maybe try a little bit more, but you have to incentivize. Like people don't want to do a dunk contest if all they win is just a fucking trophy or some type of symbol. Like nobody really cares, to be honest. At the end of the day,
cut me the check.
Yeah, cut the check. Yeah,
like ain't nobody got time for all this other BS, bro. I know for me personally, I would want the bread. Like, oh yeah, I won the 3-point competition. Yeah, that's cool. Who won it this year? Did you watch that or no? Because I didn't watch it
3-point
for
competition. It was somebody that really surprised me. I think it was Carl Anthony Towns. I
He
believe.
won the 3-point competition?
Yes, I was surprised too. I was like, oh, ain't nobody doing this no more.
Because I heard he was wearing his mom's necklace on
how
the
beautiful.
competition.
Oh, right. I know COVID would hit him hard. Man, COVID hit a lot of people hard. It hit me like mentally without even realizing it until I reflect now, retrospect. Like, because you remember 2019. I had a great 2019 year. And I was going into 2020 even great. I mean, I did. When I look at like the resume of things that I did, like I actually did a lot of things within those years, but mentally also I think about it's been the most challenging times mentally for me these past 2 years. Like I've been really, really, into my thoughts, and sometimes it got the best of me at times, but I will always prevail. Like I'm not giving up on that. It's just a thought. I don't marry I don't marry my thoughts. They come and go, but COVID has been very, very hard for a lot of people.
Cause it's like it came out of nowhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? And as severe as it was at the beginning, like I remember just seeing nobody on the roads. Like that messed with my head. Like getting on the freeway and you the only one going on 99 South. Like nah, bro. Like it was something crazy about that, and then how people were acting. Everybody's just indoors, and I'm like
tensed.
I said, oh, nah. And like I said before, I'm a homebody. Being forced to be indoors and being a homebody and staying indoors is
by
two
choice.
different things.
Right.
Yeah, like that. By choice is it just feels different. Like you know what I mean. So like that whole COVID year, the COVID year. Well, we're still in COVID, but the peak, like when it first started, that was tough, man. That was tough. I can't imagine like. Because I'm not going to say I went through a whole lot, but yeah, like, little stuff like relationships and like, really finding out what I want to do, stuff like that. But it really helped like slow me down and kind of like basically everything that was on my plate really like funnel like where I'm at in life and where I want to be. What do I want to do? How do I want to make my money? And just like tune into like, what does B-Dab want to be remembered for? What does B-Dab want to do? Because when, everything was going, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, Monday through Wednesday, I have to do this, and that. I got to do this, and that. Thursday through Saturday. Sunday is family. I'm with the family, yada, yada. Okay, now you can't do nothing. You're staying home. You have nothing but to look at your own situation and try to improve it or look at improving in some way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure, I don't know how it was for you. Like, were you actually staying home? Be real. Were you staying home like when they was telling everybody?
Hell no. I was like literally like, COVID who? Like I was like, I'm gonna live my best life. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna have fun because I like to experience, go out, go to certain restaurants. Like I love food, so I like to go eat. I love beer, so I love like to drink beer and stuff like that, certain liquor, and I like to experience and go to like different places. So like. That shit was not gonna stop me, you know what I mean? The only thing that was gonna stop me was if they restricted certain places of being open.
Yeah.
So you don't even one thing I found out too was like since COVID has been like the highest rate of like divorces. Like a lot of relationships have like broken off because of the complications of the economy around COVID, as in people staying indoors and staying home locked up with that person that they probably would only see for about maybe 6, 8, 10 hours a day, to then being with each other 24/7 and not, working through their, given the time to actually know each other even at a more and more deeper level, and actually seeing like some of the people's habits that might affect you because they're not washing the dishes this way, or they're not talking to you this way, or you guys are here together 24/7 but they only talk to you for like 2 hours. Like holy shit,
it's like everything like oh like this person, like you married this person and 5 years down the line now everyone's able to slow down and everyone's able to be in the house, all the kids everyone's there, and now it's like, oh, I actually can't stand this. I can't stand this person.
This ain't the person.
Did
that
I pick the right person?
Right.
It's like, that's
a lot
tough.
of people were like, this ain't the person who I thought I was like marrying, or this is the person that I didn't envision myself being in a relationship with. Like, this is a whole different person. Like, There's I know a lot of people that got divorced and their relationships didn't work out because of the last 2 years. It's crazy.
That's wild. I'd be heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, I put in all this effort.
Yeah.
We done got married in front of all of our family. Yeah, 6 months later. Yes, that's it, Chief.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it.
I'm gone. But no, but yeah, man, that stuff is crazy. But now we're on to bigger and better things. We're on the positive up and up.
Definitely.
You're happy. I'm beyond happy. I'm getting ready to go into camp on Tuesday.
Wow,
bro, it's probably
it goes by so fast.
I know.
Like a year or 6 months, you find out, I have camp in May, and it's maybe June of the year.
Mhm.
And then now it's a week.
Yeah, it's here, bro.
Yeah, it's here.
7 days, man. 7 days. So, I'm really excited, bro. I really am, and it's just like I just want to see where I am 6 months from now. I'm gonna be as president as I can be,
Mhm.
like while I'm there. But I'm just like, man, I can't wait to experience it. Putting on the jersey with my last name on it and stuff like that. I just know how I am once it comes to football. I'm like, man, I just can't wait to get out there, bro. It's gonna be so fun. Better be at that motherfucker too.
When you think about like competing, how do you approach like the mental aspect? As in, are you competing to be the next, Champ Bailey, the next, Aqib Talib, the next, like the next great corner, the next great safety or defense or player in general? Or do you like, I'm just trying to be the best, Brandon Dabney that I can be with my abilities that I already have and sharpen my skills?
Oh, I'm not looking to be nobody. Like, obviously, as a player, I take pieces from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Even Ray Lewis. Like, Ray Lewis is a middle linebacker. I take things from Ray Lewis. Like, just his mentality alone. I take stuff from Ed Reed. I take stuff from Nnamdi Asomugha. I take stuff from pretty much everybody. Bits and pieces. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to be the best Brandon Dabney possible. Because I feel like I'm someone that someone's gonna look up to, right? So and I'm not knocking nobody for looking like I want to be the next, Nnamdi Asomugha. I want to be the next so and so Champ Bailey or whatever.
Right.
You can have that. That guy has the motivation, but as for me, like I just know how I am. I know how I play, and I just feel like I want to be better, the best version of me. And that's been what's worked for me this long.
What do you think are the benefits of just being the best you instead of beating the competition within your team mentality?
It's just authenticity. Like if you're trying to copy and paste somebody else, like I just don't feel, for me personally, I just don't feel right about it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's so much better to be yourself. Like if you're a man corner, or if you're an aggressive player, you can try to be like somebody who plays different, but at the end of the day, like, be the best version of you. Know how you are, know how you get down the field, and that's in all aspects. If you're a hooper, you know what I mean? You might not be a shooter, but you're looking up, you might be a dunker, but look up to Steph Curry, you know what I mean? I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, like, you got to, be what, what's in your archetype.
That's what I always say, like, work in your circle of competence. Like, what's uniquely you that you're very good at that other people aren't. Like, you notice that, like, a lot of people, that's why, like, great coaches are great at putting players in the best position in their capabilities. And you see a lot of coaches that, like, oh, you're not really good. Let's say, like, you're a great coverage corner. Now you're a great, like, a zone coverage player. And they want to put you in a system where you're playing man coverage all the time. Yeah. It's like, well, is that really the best thing to do for the player and for the team if you're going to put them in a position where maybe they lack of, and there's another player that's also maybe greater at man coverage than him? So it's kind of, that's why you see like the NFL, right? They have like packages, like, dime or all these like different type of, strategic moves to put players in the best position according to what you believe the offense is going to do. Like I always think about that too. It's like as a person, like you have to know what's uniquely you that you're good at than other people because you notice it when you're around. Like, you have that. Everybody has like an it factor. Some people are charismatic. Some people are introverts, extroverts. Some people have a different way of philosophy that, people gravitate towards too. people listen when you talk, that energy when you come up in the room, or when you step on the field, there's like this aura around you, or the swag that you have, like you bring that leadership. Everybody has like something. So it's like working that circle and just go all in the capabilities that you have that you know can take you somewhere else.
Yeah,
higher.
facts. No, that's most definitely true. Yeah, like I like that working your circle of competence. You know what I mean? I like that because I feel like you got to find your niche. Your niche. Is that how you say it? Your niche? Yeah, because I knew early on like what mine was. Actually I wouldn't even say early on. I kind of like the midway through my sophomore year of high school. I kind of knew like okay, like difference between me and other people is like I can play anything, like wherever they tell me to play is what I'm gonna do, as long as it helps us to win. So being versatile, that adds value to you. So that's kind of like my thing. It's like I feel like I can do anything, I can play anywhere given the right scheme or whatever they need. You know what I mean? So it definitely plays into it.
When you hear striving for greatness, what does that mean to you?
Striving for greatness, I feel like it's striving for your goals, striving to be the best at what you do, or whatever your passion is, the best at what you do, and doing it at the highest level you can do it. Right? So, you could be good at something, doing what you love or whatever, but being great is like, it's like that elite room of people that do what you do, whether it's basketball, football, or it might be art, it might be, selling cars, you know what I mean? But, when you're striving for greatness, you're working on that talent. You're putting that time and the effort and those hours in to be the best that you can possibly be, and you don't leave no excuses or no, leeway to not be great,
Right. That's pretty good, though. When you hear, like, how they say, like, oh, Kobe is great, LeBron is great, or even, like, family, like, oh, this person's a great person. What's one of, like, character traits you believe makes somebody a great person? And if it's a field of, like, sports, or maybe it's just the way they are with family or how they treat people, what do you think is a character trait that a lot of people that are quote unquote great have?
I think that something that makes somebody great, whether if it might be a person, right, just like a regular person that you might know in your family or whatever, something that makes them great is that they either pull up others, or they take their whatever they're doing, whether if it's life, they take it very seriously, right? They can influence other people. They're the best at their craft. They really work at their craft, and they don't just talk about it,
right?
In any aspect. But I'd say the main trait to like say that somebody's great is that they're inspiring others, and they're good at they're great at what they do, and they're inspiring others. I would say, that's in life. You can inspire somebody from just being on your shit, making sure you're paying your stuff, you're successful, saving your bread, investing and all that stuff. Just as a regular person, you know what I mean? You can influence, your younger generation. I know you have a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. A lot of the stuff that what you're doing is, on that path of greatness, because you're influencing every single. Well, no, I wouldn't say influencing, but I'd say motivating every single generation up under you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. How old is your youngest brother?
My youngest brother, I would have to say, at least nearby that I see a lot more. He's 15.
He's 15. So you're motivating, from 24, 25 all the way to 15. You know what I'm saying? And that's a critical point. Just imagine if you had you when you were 15. Damn. You know what I mean? And you're on that path to greatness to set up that foundation for your family, break those generational curses. That is the path to greatness. You know what I'm saying? You're making a difference,
Definitely. And that's what I kind of manifest, is being the person who I wish I had at certain times in my life that would have put me on a path. I remember being like, in my teenage years, like I had no foundation. I had no guide. I mean, I had a father, family, but maybe you've experienced this. Like, you can have a father or maybe a mother in the household, like, be there offer you, you know, a roof over your shoulder, food, you know, gotta be grateful for that. But at the same time, like, they might be there physically, but not there mentally.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have nobody who was able to guide me. I didn't have no guidebook. I had a great father who did the best that he can, and I forever appreciate him, and my mother that I had too, that was loving unconditionally. But at the same time, I never had a conversation, or when I was, you know, down bad on myself or judging myself, I never had nobody that was able to tell me. I never heard the words, "It's okay." Like, I was just kind of like would judge myself, like put myself down. And I understand how a lot of people get like that too, because I've experienced it. So I'm always like trying to be ahead of, you know, letting people know, like, hey, I'm here. Like, you can always talk to me. Like, if you just want me, I'll just listen to you. Because a lot of people just want to, you know, express themselves and just want to be heard. That's why you see a lot of, you know, kids don't have relationships with their parents, because they feel like every time they open up that they're being judged.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with somebody, letting them know, like, you know, sometimes you might have problems with, you know, your child, because you they feel that every time they do express themselves, they feel like you're gonna nitpick or judge them or compare your life to theirs. So it's like, if you really want to help your you know, son, daughter, you have to give them the feeling that you're not judging them, and you're actually there to help them by just listening. And like, you know what, you also opening up yourself of your experiences. And that's what I try to do, is just be very, very open with my emotions, because I know more than like 99.9% of people are dealing with the same emotions, not currently, but they have in the past. And in the future, you're going to deal with every single emotion, you know. And I try to give like a sense of like normalizing it. Like, it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to be depressed. It's okay to be jealous if you don't know how to handle it. It's okay to be clingy. But at the same time, if it's problematic, you know, you have to take notes of, you know, the things it's not working for you. It's making your relationship that should be, you know, happy and, you know, blooming, to then sad and jealous. And you guys are checking each other's phones, and you guys are checking you guys' locations, and you guys are constantly arguing and fighting, instead of giving you guys the space for you to have fun with your family and your friends, and her or him to do the same with their family. Because then when you guys get together, you guys can have fun with each other. And like, that's why it's so important. I always like talk about all this stuff, because I know there's somebody else that's experiencing the same things I've experienced, because I've heard it from the greatest of the great, quote unquote, you know, athletes or philosophers, or, you know, just people that have done something that gave to society, that has went through the same emotions that I'm going through. Because then you realize that everybody's human, and everybody has their own, you know, things that are going on that you've experienced as well. So when you hear somebody else experience something that you feel is only you, like, it makes you feel okay, and you're like, oh, I can get through this then. Or you know what, it's not the end of the world, you know, if somebody passes, or you know, a relationship is broken, or you make a mistake. Like, you realize that you don't have to judge yourself so much, and hey, if he can do it, then I can do it. Exactly. What did Kanye West said? If I could live through anything, if magic made it. So like, I thought that shit was so dope, because, you know, Magic Johnson, you know, like, you know, his story, like, if he can do it, and other people that have been through worse can do it, like, you can do it too.
Yeah, facts. No, yeah, that's a good mentality to have too, especially when it comes to like stuff that comes negative to you. you got to think of it like that, because if you're kind of just down on yourself and talking back to yourself when stuff happens, like, oh, this happened, you know, I lost, you know, my brother, I wish I would have spent more time with him, I wish I would have did this, I wish I would have did that, you know. You're not the first person to ever lose your brother, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you feel how you feel, but, you know, you got to move on, you got to keep going, you got to keep pushing, because that person, whoever you lost, wants you to keep going.
100%.
They want you to, you know, be better. They want you to keep on your path that you're going, your path to greatness, and whatever path you're going, you know. So I think that's a really important mentality that you could have as, you know, just like an everyday person.
Yeah, so you really have to love the people that are here, because you know, things could change tomorrow. So it's like, every time you see them, just show them love. Let go of the little shit. Like, let go of the little battles and, you know, situations where it makes you resent the person, like, man, because you're gonna regret it. You know, you always hear those stories, right, when somebody passes away and you're like, damn, the last conversation I had with them, I told them how much I hated them.
Yeah.
And then you realize you never hated them. You might maybe hated that situation, but after they pass, you're like, I actually love them. Like, the last thing I said to them was I hate them. Like, and how much it kills them inside. So it's like, you know, love people, love the people around you while they're here, not until after.
Yeah, you gotta use your words for good, for sure.
Yeah.
Can't be thrown out, or I wish you die, and then they actually pass. You know what I mean? Like that's a terrible feeling to have. You know, after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So, a little bit of what we talked about in the last episode. You know, manifest good things. You know, appreciate the people that you are here, that you have here, and you know, be in the moment of, you know, all my family are here. They're healthy. You know, we spend time together. Really treasure that, because time don't stop for nobody. It keeps going.
Yeah, it's definitely true.
Yeah, facts. But you know, one of the things that I kind of want to talk about is when, you know, going into camp or whatever, having those anxieties. I remember I was telling you about that like a couple weeks ago, like having the anxieties and stuff like that, and you know, the jitters is slowly going away, and you know, how like preparation was kind of taking that away. I feel like the more I was preparing for the season, the better I felt. Do you feel like lack of preparation is like a way of, it's like a direct correlation to kind of the anxieties once it comes to, like, you know, preparing for work, or maybe preparing for, you know, maybe family events or anything of that nature? Do you think lack of preparation is like the reason that you have those anxieties and have those jitters and stuff like that?
Yeah, I believe so, because you have like the idea of like the unknown, like, oh, like especially if like you going to camp, right? You could have the mindset of the feeling of, oh, am I gonna be ready? Am I stamina up to the speed? Am I strong enough? You have all these like doubts, and you're creating like all this like built up, you know, anxiety, because of fear of, you know, you not being ready mentally or physically. But if you had prepared, knowing that, hey, you know, I gotta be up to par to speed. You're not confident in your strength or your mental aspect. Like, if you didn't prepare, manifest, visualization of where you need to be and how it's going to feel when you're like going into the game or practice or being on the field or being in an environment of the team. Like, if you didn't think about those things, and then the moment's getting closer and now you want to start thinking about it all at once, and you're having all these like too many thoughts going on, I think that's what will create the anxiety for a lot of people, especially if you go to work. And it's kind of like, it can go either way though, because I'm a type of person that I think about nothing. Like, if I go to work, or if I'm gonna do something that is quote unquote stressful, I have all these responsibilities, I actually not avoid, but I don't even think about it. I'm gonna just be here in this moment right now. I already know what I'm gonna be expecting, but I want to let go of expectations if it doesn't go my way, because I don't want to make myself or punish myself more than once if I don't get something done. Like, it's okay if I don't get it done. I am just going to put myself in the best position, mentally prepare, wake up a little bit early, go on the run, do these things to keep me, meditate, you know, like work out, do these things that gives you already enough time so you can think through the thoughts of before you're going to start something, so that you put yourself in the best position to be prepared. Now, if you don't, you know, handle your business, you don't put yourself in position, then you're going to have a million thoughts going in your head, doubting if you're ready or not.
Yeah, facts. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, hell yeah. I think that's a good way to put it, for sure. And like, you know, in the preparation, like, I know something I always like kind of post or like talk about, like, you know, having that faith over the fear. You know, have faith in your abilities, have faith in like the time that you put in, like it's gonna pan out. You know? So I feel like that's very critical in the process of, you know, whatever you're going into, like a new job, you know, a new season, or whatever, sports or anything of that nature. For sure.
Definitely 100% too. You said faith over fear. That's pretty good. I love that because it's so true. You gotta really have faith that everything's gonna be okay, and if it don't go your way, if it doesn't go your way, be okay with the outcome regardless because you did your best.
Yeah.
Like if you mentally prepared, you physically prepared, you did everything you felt that was needed, and it doesn't go the way that you planned, then you're okay with the outcome because you did everything possible that you felt was right.
Yeah, facts. And I know I heard somebody say, I forgot who it was, but I heard somebody say, like, luck is, I think it's Nipsey. He said luck is being prepared when the opportunity presents itself. So, you know, when you fall into that aspect of, you know, the opportunity falling to you, and you already working, putting the time in, putting the hours in, and you're not knowing if the opportunity is going to come or not, and it falling into your lap, it's luck, but it's not luck that you were busting your ass. You know what I mean? But it just so happened to fall into your lap.
Right.
But yeah.
You know, a little bit off topic from here, but I was thinking like, oh, what are some of the qualities you look for in relationships and friendships?
I feel like the biggest thing for me personally, I don't know about you, but the biggest thing for me when I'm looking, you know, for, you know, stuff in relationships or even friendship or partnership, honesty. That's like the biggest quality for me. Like that's like if you feel like, because I feel like when someone's honest, it's so easy to trust them. You know what I'm saying? If you know someone is going to tell you the real regardless, not be a yes man. If we're just talking about friends, right? If you know someone's going to be honest with you, someone's going to tell you the truth, going to tell you if you're right or wrong. I feel like that's so valuable because it's so scarce and rare now, as, you know, having a moral compass or someone who is, you know, on the lines of being a honest and you know, good person in a way. What about you? Like, what is it like for you?
For me, I do want to look, when I look into like the qualities I look for in like friendships or relationships, I do want the sense of, you know, that they have their own way of where they're trying to go. Like they have maybe a vision, or they just want to work on themselves, their growth. I like the ability to, they're tapped in on themselves as well. Like knowing that they don't have to really depend on anybody, because then it gives me space to work on myself, make sure I'm doing, you know, what I gotta do for myself. Because I do believe, you know, you can't love somebody until you love yourself. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, like being able to have like the freedom of, you know, not having that dependent thing on me, like it's all on me. Like we can act a partnership, like we equal each other out, you know, where I might lack, the other person excels. Like having the balance of somebody that's giving me the opportunity to give me a benefit of staying in my goals, or if I slack off or if I fall off, that person's able to build me back up or help me in my, you know, whatever mental state I am. Or if life gets tough, you know, they get tougher, or they step in when they need to because they see that I'm putting my foot off the gas pedal. Like I want that person that's able to motivate me and keep me going towards a goal that's gonna both help us both achieve, quote unquote, you know, our success.
Yeah, like help you to push for greatness.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, that's that's most definitely that's something that's most definitely valuable in, you know, looking for stuff. You know, especially in a relationship, like if you don't have someone that's like pushing you, you know, someone that, you know, say someone you marry or someone you're dating or whatever, like you guys it should be like you guys should build off each other. You know what I mean? Get better in each way. You guys should both be climbing, because if one of you guys are climbing, one of you guys aren't, you know, it's just dead weight. They're just holding you down. You know, they're not letting you exceed to your greatness. You know, and you know, I feel like I've been on both ends of that. You know, to where I was at a stagnant place, and somebody, and I, you know, I was in relationships where they outgrew me. I was in relationships where I outgrew other people. But I feel like that's very critical when it comes to, you know, finding people that you actually want to stick in your life, you know, that wants to add value to your life.
When you look back at the relationships or friendships, or even if it was on you or maybe the other person, what's one of the things that is like an automatic cutoff for you?
Automatic cutoff, I'd say.
And not cut off disrespectful. Like you cut off because you feel like, you know, it's the best thing to just let go of the person for yourself. Like you felt like, oh, like I need to not be in this relationship. It's hurting me more.
When it gets to the point, because I feel like unless it reached to this point, I feel like it really is no reason to like cut someone off completely. You know, you want to obviously be there to like motivate them if you can, if they're willing to change their situation. But I just can't stand somebody just complain every single day about their situation and do nothing to change. Like, just complain to you, or anytime they open their mouth, it's something negative. You know what I'm saying? And just, they don't take your advice. They don't, they're not doing anything to change it. They're just complaining. It just irks me, bro. I don't know. It's like you could say anything. You could bring up anything like, oh, I love Target. I love going to Target and just shopping around. And like, oh, I hate Target. Target's right. Bullshit. I met my baby mama in Target. You know what she did to me? This, like, bro. It's like, come on now. Like, I just feel like an automatic cutoff. Like, whether if it's relationships, being in a relationship with somebody, or like friendship wise, I just feel like if you're just a complainer, bro, I just can't do it. Or like, oh, I'm like overweight. I'm overweight because of this and this and that. I'm just like, bro, like, this is on you. It's your body. It's your temple. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you making excuses? Oh, I don't have time. You had time for Netflix and snacks. Like, bro, come on now. Like, right. you can't sit there and look at me in my face and tell me, like, you don't have time, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
like,
complaining thing is so infectious, though.
It is. It rubs off. And even if you're not even a complainer, you hang around like 3 dudes that just sit around and complain all the time. It's gonna be hard for you to keep that same mentality. Soon you're gonna find yourself, man, today's ugly ass day. You know what I'm saying? Eventually that's gonna rub off on you.
You wake up and you're like, fuck this day already. Like, the day hasn't even started. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet.
Oh, me. Like, what?
You can't just have that attitude. That's why it's so important for me when I wake up. I just wake up instantly gratitude. Like, I woke up. That right there is like what I realized to myself. Like I won. Like, okay, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm here. I'm present. I get to go to work. I get to do this. I get to build. I get to do all of these things. Not that I have to. Because I remember, like, I used to think like that, too. It's like, oh, I have to do this. I have to do Like, when you have that attitude, like, even, like, my posture. Like, I have to do this. I have to do that. Like, you can look at everything in a way of, like, I get to do this. I get to experience going to the DMV and wait in line and see something pop off up in there. Like, like, you don't even know. Like, there's always life is just so unpredictable.
Yeah, no facts.
And you can meet somebody, I've had a lot of situations where I've went to random places and like felt like I didn't want to go, and I end up going, and I end up meeting somebody who I didn't know that ends up being a benefit or a value to me, either a friendship or just an encounter of a conversation that clicked in my head because of what they said about something. So like, even like the circle of competence, I always talk about like circle of competence, working around what you understand well and make money or pursue that as one of your passions because you understand it so well, and whatever that is. Like, I had heard that in a conversation with like an investment banker when I was in San Francisco. I went to like this place, and it's like this bar somewhere in San Francisco. I forgot where. But I went there by myself, like just to go by myself, go have a drink, whatever, at this certain bar. And I had met an investment banker that he was telling me, he was like, if you want to, invest in the long haul, invest in long term, just work in your circle of competence of the things you understand, like the iPhone, Apple. Look at Apple. Look at the team of Apple. When you do things in life, look at the things that you enjoy, that you like, that doesn't feel like work. It doesn't cause you stress. If it causes you stress, it's usually good stress because you're trying to figure something out, and you haven't figured it out yet, but you're not quitting. So like, there's good stress, there's bad stress. We all need some type of like suffering, I feel, in order to excel and to really appreciate the moments when you attain whatever it is that you were suffering to get for so long. Like, you never know where a conversation could go or an encounter can go when you go to or do different things that you felt was a burden.
Yeah, facts. Like, damn, that's wild. So it's at the SF bar. He just was shooting game to you. Like, how did he start? How the conversation?
I remember it was funny because I was just sitting down, just drinking like an old fashioned, like just whiskey. And then I remember just sitting down, just kind of like talking to like the bartenders and stuff like that, having a conversation because they are from there usually. So I would just like talk to them or talk to the person next to me. And I remember he sat next to me. It was like around like 8 p.m. and he just got off of like his shift. Like investment bankers work hours, like 100 hours a week, almost like crazy, 80 hours a week, not bi-weekly. Like they work like 16, 18 hours a day, like, you know, managing portfolios, making the right investments, and, you know, technical analysis of the stock market, the charts, like all this stuff that they're doing crazy amount of hours. And I remember it really just started because he sat right next to me, and I was like, he sat right next to me, and he just looked like exhausted. I was like, man, you look like you had a long day. And then from there, that's how the conversation started. And he literally just told me about all these things about what he does, his investments, how he looks, his philosophies, who he recommends to look for if you are looking to invest, like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, all these other, you know, great investors and philosophies and books. Like, just start a conversation by just saying, like, hey, damn, you look tired. Just like that.
See, I see those type of experiences. I've never been the type to like start a conversation. I've always been kind of like the quiet type, but like I'll literally just be to myself, and I'll just be like, you know, in my own thoughts or stuff like that. But you never know, like having something like a simple conversation with someone like that, you know, can have an impact on your life. You know,
Yeah.
You know, meeting investment banker, you might meet somebody that, you know, is as a dad and gives you advice on, you know, how to be a pops starting off, or whatever it may be. They could give you, like, everybody has like value to them, and they can give you like gems. You know what I mean? You just have to be willing to take that, and, you know, once those opportunities present themselves, you know, obviously you don't have to implement everything everyone gives you, but, you know, those little gems, you can take gems from people. You know what I mean? Whether you know, if it's, you know, direct or inadvertently, you know what I'm saying? Learn from other people's mistakes or learn from other people's successes.
100%.
Facts. But yeah, man, I think that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for episode 7. You know, I appreciate you for having me over, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. You know, we're gonna keep climbing, keep going. We're going to get everything up and running. You know, everything's getting real jam-packed right now. We're trying to get some stuff going for you guys. But, you know, keep following with us. Keep subscribing, liking the videos. We appreciate you guys, and thank you, and appreciate you for tapping in with Self-Relations.
Sheesh.